Denise here, the Crafty DIYer, and when you are at the thrift store, never pass up the kitchen section. Everything today is a kitchen item that I have flipped from the thrift store. Let's get started. This is a cake pan and a dollar store candle. Now we're going to make a tray out of this. So I'm going to glue this up and let it sit overnight. I'm using construction adhesive. That's what I like the best. You can use E6000, but I like this one the best. So I painted this in white swan and we're going to distress it. I am doing the wet method for distressing. I'm just using a baby wipe to rub this back and get all that nice chippy look. I waxed it and it's done. Now I have a cute little riser. Now keep an eye out for those in there because you can even make a tier tray, like 2 or 3 tier tray, which I think we'll do in an upcoming video. We're going to take this pot and we're going to transform it. It's very simply, we're just going to put a clay mold on there, and I'm going to use this little rooster. Now all of the products that I'm using today you can find on my website, or there will be a link below this video. I'm using construction adhesive. Now I would let this sit overnight if you can, or at least a couple of hours. After that, I painted it in a little black dress, and then I speckled white paint over it to match the pot. But I matched it a little too well because now you can't see it. So all I did is put some white wax on there, rub it back, and it'll just make that pop a little better. And it'll give us some protection as well. We're going to add some ribbon to the handle. This is just going to give it some texture and some interest. Whenever I'm making these, I like to use different materials, different textures, different weights. All I do is I crisscross it, and then I'm going to insert some of the lamb's ear, and then we're going to just hot glue it on to the pot handle. You could nestle it into a basket, or you could hang it up on the wall or in the kitchen. I think it would give a nice little pop to your kitchen decor. This next project is this jar. I really liked it because it's got that square look, which I think it really adds to the farmhouse look. So I painted it in little black dress. You can paint glassware with DIY paint because it's clay based. Then I'm using this sunflower mold, which, my goodness, it is huge. Can you see how big that is? It's a beautiful detailed mold. And then I'm going to glue it on the same way as I glue on the other one with the construction adhesive. Again, let it sit overnight if you can. This will crack a little bit. It just slightly shrinks a little. So it's best to let that sit overnight. I painted my sunflower in white linen, and then I added some black wax. You apply your black wax in little sections. You apply it, wipe it off, and there you go. How beautiful is that? Now I did add black wax to the whole jar just to seal it up. I always grab these pizza boards when I find them. This one was in really good condition. A lot of times I paint them white and do other things, but this one is so good. I'm just going to make it look like old wood. And I'm using the Olden Gray. It's a liquid patina, so it's a sealer and a color all in one. This cutting board was brand new. It was still in the wrapper, and I painted it in white swan. And we're going to use the Village Market mold with some IOD clay. In the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a live once a week, and we're going to really dive deep into projects just like this one, where we need a little more time, than what we can do in this video. If you are interested or you think that's a really good idea, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. This stamp is called Vintage Textures, and I love it. It's one of my favorite. I'm always pretty much using it on every other project. We still have a couple more projects to go, but I invite you to watch to the end because I'm going to show you different ways to display what we made today. I'm going to paint the edges of this tray with White Swan, and then I'm going to use a transfer from the entomology, and we're going to transfer it onto this tray. If you are finding value in this video, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up. When I saw this vintage colander, I grabbed it. We're not going to do anything to it. We're just going to display it with some pretty china. You could put a plant in it. So many things you could do with that, just the way it is. This is from when I had my booth and it never sold. So I'm going to give it a new look. I am going to paint it in a little black dress. I'm going to distress it with a baby wipe, and then I am going to seal it with black wax, and that will be it. And I think it really looks nice the way it turned out. It's very vintage farmhouse, and even a little shabby chic or French country, all of those things. And it all depends on how you style it. So let me show you how I styled this one. This colander is not old, and in fact, somebody's already painted it, and it's chippy, and I love it the way it is. So I'm going to use this as a little planter, a little fake plant. You could put real plants in this, maybe outside. You could use it as a riser. So many things you could do with such an inexpensive colander. I'm always on the lookout for these wooden spoons. And these ones are like restaurant quality. They are big. You can't really tell in the video here, but they are big. All I'm going to do is clean them up, give them a little sanding, and then I'll be able to use them as display. You just never know what you're going to find at a thrift store. Don't forget to go to the kitchen section and think about things that you can use to make your home beautiful.